Nathan. This is the Cards Podcast batting practice. We're here with Mr. Steve and Doug talking about the Cardinals. Gentlemen, welcome.
It's great to be here, Nathan.
Yeah, thanks. We also have our producer, Gav, somewhere. And Braden is our tech guy. He's here as well. We got a lot to talk about. Talking about the Cardinals.
Let's talk about them.
Yeah, well, I guess the main thing to understand about this podcast is our pilot episode. Neither of us knows much about the Cardinals. I played baseball in grade school. I follow the Cards a little bit. I'm pretty sure Dryden's never played a sport in his life, and probably neither has Doug. Doug, Dryden, anything?
I take offense to that, actually. I used to be a baseball player. Back in grade school, I got hit in the face with a ball, and I hit the ground, and I haven't been back since.
That's a heartwarming story. Dryden?
Even though I am quite large for my body, I have played t-ball back in the day, but I have followed Cardinals baseball for about 4 years now, so thanks, Muni.
Hey, I didn't say anything about you being large. That was all you.
That was all me.
On to the baseball. Cardinals took a big blow in the beginning of this season with Wainwright losing it all with the Tommy John surgery. He's pretty much out for the season. You think the Cards got a chance, Doug?
I think they always have a chance. Wainwright was good, but sometimes the arm, the shoulder just gives out. So you gotta work ahead. You gotta take that. So I think they have enough other pitchers. They have enough money to get other pitchers. I think they'll be fine.
Doug says we got to work the head. Dryden, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a pretty big blow that we lost Wainwright, but Kyle McClellan's been preparing this for the last 2 years, trying to get that fifth starting spot. So now this is his time to prove himself. And the Cardinals do have money since they didn't get the contract from Pujols. So we do have some money to spend if need be coming up here as we approach the trade deadline in July. Now, the pitching is going to rely a lot on Chris Carpenter, and hopefully Jamie Garcia doesn't have a sophomore slump, which does tend to happen in Major League Baseball. Jake Westbrook, he kind of struggled in his last outing, but, it's just spring training, so we'll have to see as it goes. Kyle Loesch, he's going to have to be a lot better than he has been the last 2 years. Granted, he has been going through injuries, but you never know. That's a risk there. And Kyle McClellan, again, has to prove himself. And then the bullpen, that's still up in the air. Franklin's probably going to retire within the next 2 seasons. And the bullpen's always been shaky for the Cardinals. But as far as getting to the playoffs, the Central's wide open.
I agree, and I agree with everything you said. The Cardinals got a lot of good pitchers. Their bullpen's looking a little weak, but hopefully the guys they got can step in and show them who's boss. I think Carpenter will have a few good outings, probably Loesch and McClellan as well. So McClellan's going to want that starting spot this year. He was a good bullpen player, but, he's probably going to be a better starter. And you also mentioned the elephant in the room, Albert Pujols. What do you think about that, Dryden? Albert Pujols, will he be with the Cards next year? Should we even discuss this?
It's a valid point to discuss because he's not going to go anywhere for the entire season. So we can't really trade him. So hopefully the Cardinals do well and we can keep him. But there's no way he's worth what he was wanting.
Doug, what do you think? Pujols sticking around next season or going to the Cubs?
I don't think Pujols will ever go to the Cubs. Only Jim Edmonds went there, and we know how that ended up. So, no, I think he'll stick with the Cardinals, and I think he'll stay here for a long time until the Yankees give him, as much money as they have, plus $10 more billion. But I think I think he's a St. Louis fan, and I think he's going to stay here. Hopefully, they can strike a deal with the Cardinals so that it's a little less money, but I think he'll stay.
I agree. I think he likes St. Louis. I'm not sure if he'll stay, but I'm not sure he's going to go to an American League team either. I think if he was anywhere, it would be a National League team, but that's just my thoughts. Speaking more on the National League, Dryden, you said it's wide open. Who do you think the Cardinals' competition is this year?
Definitely Cincinnati again. They're none of the ESPN analysts are not really projected to them, but they're bringing pretty much everyone back. They got Votto and they got that pitching staff, as well as that guy who can pitch like 105 miles per hour, closing, I think. Another team that's going to be problematic for the Cardinals is going to be the Brewers. They acquired that good pitcher from Kansas City who's been really good the last 2 years. But the good news for the Cardinals is that he's been injured here in the early season, so the Brewers aren't going to get a good start. And then you always got the Cubs in there that always throw a wrench in the plans. But out of those 4 teams, it's probably going to be the Cardinals or Cincinnati. I think they'll take the Central.
I would have to agree. Last year, Cincinnati was a tough competition, but there's a lot of bad blood between Cincinnati and St. Louis, as we all know, from the bench is emptying a couple times last season. I think the Brewers got a chance, but they got a rookie manager, I believe, coming in. Doug, what do you think? Reds going to blow it for the Cardinals this year or not?
I don't think the Brewers really have a chance, but definitely the Reds. You know, they were a big top competitor last year, and they usually always are. So I think that tension is still probably there, and I think they'll still be a big problem. As far as the Cubs, I expect them to be in last place from the beginning and stay there. In fact, I expect them to get even lower than last place because I think we're going to add a separate position just for the Cubs that's lower than anything else. That's what they deserve.
I agree. I think we should avoid talking about the Cubs during this podcast entirely. Maybe we should have some sort of like a party foul if we say the word Cubs. So we'll just refer to them as I don't know. We'll come up with a different name for the that team. In any case, I'd say you guys said it best with the Reds coming out. Probably see Pujols throw some punches again, and maybe Yachty will stand up and make some noise too. What do you think about Lance Berkman? He was a heavy hitter for the Astros. You think he's gonna throw the bat for the Cardinals this year?
Cardinals need him, that's for sure. But he has been injured this spring. But he has proven his value with the Astros, so maybe that can transfer over to us. I really don't know too much about Lance Berkman, but I know he's got a good bat.
Yeah, he was a heavy hitter for the Astros back in the day. He's an older guy, showing the rookie kids the way. Like Kobe Rasmus, for instance, he put some good numbers up last season. Think he's gonna have a better year this year, Doug?
Kobe Rasmus is good. Yeah. Solid. 2 thumbs up. Let's back up to Lance Berkman again. I don't like Lance Berkman.
I
never liked him.
Why?
Especially when he was on the Astros. And now he's on the Cardinals, and I don't like it. I don't like it. He's big, he's ugly, and he doesn't really do anything. He doesn't care, or he doesn't seem to care about the game or what he's doing. He's just out there, and he wants to make some money. And I think he's a waste, and I don't think the Cardinals should keep him. So, yeah, Kobe Rasmus, good.
The big risk with Lance is that he has played first base for quite some time with the Astros. Now, he does know how to play outfield, and that's where he's going to start. I think he's going to start in right field, I'm pretty sure. But he hasn't played out there for a long, long time. How long is it going to take him to get up to full speed? Is spring training going to be enough? I don't think so. Colby, I would say, in my opinion, is a much better player than Lance Berkman ever will be. And Colby should have a good year, I think. I think he's due for a astronomical season, if you ask me.
Well, I agree with Doug about Lance Berkman. He's he's a good hitter, like Dryden said, and he's not going to be playing first base, so he's playing the outfield, but he's Fat Elvis, Big Chubby, whatever you want to call him. He's, a waste of a man. In any case, speaking of a waste of a man, we got Ryan Theriot and Holiday back. Who could forget Holiday dropping the ball last season or a couple seasons ago, blowing our chances at the World Series? What are your guys' thoughts on Holiday and Terrio? Terrio, another guy from the team who must not be named. Any thoughts on those guys and their seasons?
Get over Matt Holiday, Muni. You've complained about him for the last 2 years. Even though the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs last year, he was a major force in the offense. And he can, on occasion, catch a ball in the outfield, like you don't seem to believe. Yeah. Just get over it.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with what Dryden's saying over there. So, Muni, let go of Holiday. I'm a big fan of Holiday. Okay, I like Holiday. I've liked him since he was on the Rockies, and when he came to the Cardinals, I was pretty happy. I will say we need to play more of his song. When I went to Colorado, they played the Green Day song. Is it Green Day? I don't really know. Holiday is the title of the song.
Yeah.
And they like to play it because of Matt Holiday. And I think we need to play it some more because he's good. And even though he dropped that ball, you just buy him some sunglasses. Make sure he always has those sunglasses on so that light doesn't get in his eyes. He should be fine. But he's a good player.
All right. Well, I'm clearly being overruled on Holiday. I think he's a worthless man for blowing out his chances. But I suppose he is pretty good on the offense and got a few runs for us last season. So hopefully he can put some more points on the board and bring us into the postseason this year. Moving on to Tony. Tony La Russa back again, obviously. He, he's always doing his thing, saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave. I'm Tony. I don't know." But obviously back with Dave Duncan, pitching coach. Make a great team. What are you guys' thoughts on Tony? Think he's going to bring the pain this year, as usual?
Hopefully we can keep him off the booze, but
that's what I
sure hope he does good. And he's a good coach. He took the Oakland A's to the World Series. I mean, look at how bad the Oakland A's have been since he's left. And the Cardinals have won a World Series with him. He's a good manager. Will he be back? Who knows? It's a question every year. So I think he's a good manager, and he's doing good for the Cardinals. Let's keep him here.
I agree. I hope he stays. They have this talk at the end of the season every year. I figured I'd just bring it up at the beginning of the season and see what we say towards the end after the season's over. But season kicks off on Thursday. Any guys going to opening day? 3:15 start. Carpenter kicking it off. Your thoughts on that? I'm sure Carpenter's going to throw a good game, but he's an old guy. It's his first start of the season, so.
Well, he started the last 6 games, and he's going up against Stauffer from the Padres. So, I mean, it depends if the bats can get going. I mean, that was the big question last year, and so I mean, Skip's not going to be playing second too much. I think it'll be Ryan more. So hopefully we can get some offense.
I agree. We need the offense to pound through. I think we got a good batting order put together, and the defense I haven't heard too much about, but I think the Cardinals are pretty solid on defense, minus Holiday dropping the occasional ball. Other than that, I think season will be pretty good. Good start with the Cardinals, the team who shall not be named. They'll probably be in last, and I'm looking forward to another Cardinals-Reds matchup. Can't wait for 3:15 on Thursday. You got anything else, gentlemen?
Third base is going to be an issue, I think. Hopefully David Freese can stay healthy and not drop weights on his toes again and miss the entire season like he did last year. But he has power from what I've seen in the spring and what he literally did last year. He has the possibility to be a really good third baseman.
I agree. I think what you said, the Cardinals need to stay healthy this season. They got they got some good players, but it's all about staying healthy. They got a few guys they can pull up from the minors, but it's not a huge pool to pick from. So I think the
not
guys
anymore.
They got now, and they can swap a few out, and as long as they stay healthy, they'll be postseason contenders. Doug?
Yeah, definitely. All they got to do, I mean, it's really fundamental here. Stay healthy, play better than the other team, score more runs than the other team, get the win, and now that's it. That's all you got to do. And they're gonna
Thank
do
you,
it.
Doug.
They're gonna
Thank
win.
you, Doug, for that great insight and that visual. I'll put that one away and remember it forever. Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming out to play. I think that was a successful podcast. This has been our pilot episode of Batting Practice. This is Nathan signing off, and I will let Steve and Doug sign off.
Thanks
Peace out.
for playing.